Okay, there's a quick video on why it's not always the lead quality that may be the issue. And a few weeks ago, we had a client that came to us and said, "Hey, I think we're having an issue with lead quality. We're just stacking up proposals, and we just can't pull any through. Our close rate is 5%." And so the first thing we did is obviously took a look. Obviously we looked at the numbers here. We're getting great results here. 278 per website visit, right? So that means every scheduled meeting, qualified meeting is prospect. So $278 per cost per qualified meeting. So it's the right prospect. They're answering our qualifying questions, etc. This one's a great campaign, 155. So we knew, and we're getting obviously the volume, 136 there, almost 100 there. These are, again, qualified meetings with high intent prospects. So with a 5% close rate, you automatically think, hey, there's got to be something wrong with lead quality. But I took a look at the sales process. I kind of walked through it with their sales guy, who's a great guy. And yesterday, so we kind of worked it over the last week and a half. And yesterday, I suggested to them a process, just like one small tweak. It was basically to give them the price estimate of what it would be to build out not only the MVP, but to the standards that they would need beyond MVP, right, for their software development firm. And it was just one small tweak. And he's great. You talk about great players and playing for great coaches. I gave him a little bit of advice, told him to make one tweak in the sales process. He literally made that change today. And then you can see from his Slack messages. He made it. He made the one change over to the $2,900 intro package. Before, I think they were trying to do like a $97 like subscription or something like that. And they got a full scope of work. You can see she's already aware of the full price, 100% ready to move forward. Another one for the book. So again, this is just references the conversation we had here. Send over the call recording. Did you use the similar process that we discussed yesterday? And he says, I did. I pushed for the 27, I think he meant 2,900 to start, and then define the scope work. And so all we really did was take out some of the unnecessary parts of the sales process and really just, they're not all going to be like this, but the point being is we're going to help them weed through and qualify in the correct prospects and qualify out the non-prospects, right? Because when you look at it from a lead standpoint, it's fantastic. So really, this actually became a sales process issue that we need fixed. Now we're going to maximize the capacity of their salesperson to get only these prospects and to only move the prospects forward in that process. Because if this prospect or the next prospect, let's say, box at putting to, or the $2,700, $2,900 1 week scope, well, then they probably weren't going to pay the $36,000 anyway. But it just goes to show that a lot of times there isn't just a fix one side or the other. And I will say that for both sides. Sometimes it does need to be a marketing and messaging fix. And sometimes there are lead issues that need to be solved. But a lot of times it's somewhere right in the middle of the marketing messaging and the sales process. And then a lot of times when you're getting the lead flow, especially high volume lead flow at the right cost per qualified call, but you're not pulling through on the close rate, then a lot of times it's not the lead quality. It can be something in that sales process and initially up front in the sales process to qualify prospects in or out. So at any rate, I just want to make this quick video. It was a nice testimonial and just a good I love the fact when people can put things in action. We say, hey, let's try this, right? And not everything's going to work. But he made the change that we talked about yesterday, a pretty substantial change, and immediately paid off dividends. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this encourages you, again, to look at both sides of the coin in terms of the sales and marketing overlap and to know that there could be issues sometimes in the sales process. So we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.